And welcome everybody to the April Bicycle, Pedestrian and Traffic Safety Committee. I'd like to begin by calling the meeting to order and going through the roll call of the committee members. I'm Ed Holland, I'm the chair.
Angela Hay.
Pat Bainan.
Oh. Okay, so just bear with me a second. I had some technical difficulties getting everything connected this morning. So that is a call to order. And item 2 is oral communications for items that are not on the agenda. And I placed a couple of things there so that for time advantage. I know we have some people here this morning that would like to speak to us, including a presentation from Wyatt. I'm sorry, please tell me your last name again. Friends, yes. I don't, when you speak, could you speak into the microphone for us, please? And then everybody can hear you. I can't show it, but Wyatt has a wonderful poster here presenting a project that he's doing as a part of school. Is it, I'm sorry, Nick.
Yes.
Were you trying to say something?
No. Sorry, I'm also having some technical difficulties here. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. So we're just about to have a presentation from a member of the public. So just hold by while we get through those things. Thank you very much. Wyatt, please go ahead with your presentation.
Hello, everyone. My name is Wyatt Friends, a third grader at Orangedale Elementary, and I live on Shawnee Pass with my parents and 3 youngest. I like to bike around the neighborhood with my friends into school. This photo is dressed up as a slow down green man for Halloween. I used to love seeing you around. A speeding car crash a few months ago passed Christmas. This inspired neighbors to that it was dangerous. People are speeding down the street too fast at all times of the day, including during school times. I want to keep the street safe for my classmates and siblings. There's the car crash picture. My process. In January, I wrote a department to tell them that we need help with a project. 2, my mom and I delivered the note to San Mateo County Sheriff. Then I waited a long time to hear back from the sheriff about how we could work together. Eventually, they got back to me. 4, in February, I wrote and delivered a letter to the neighbors about my project, and I shared that I would be doing a petition in the next few months. On Monday, March 16th, 7 a.m. before school, Deputy Nate came to my house and helped me collect data. We used a radar speed gun and a LiDAR speed, which was a lot of fun. We collected data from 53 cars and 1 bicycle. I analyzed the data with some help and came up with percentages and trends of speeding cars. Around 68% of cars were going above the speed limit, even when a bunch of police were standing in our driveway pointing the radar gun. Even my principal, highest speeds were 39, 38, and 3 cars at 31 per hour. Here is if you want to see. Next, I wrote a petition with our problem and asked the neighbors if they would support the potential solution. All but 1 said yes. We're very encouraging. Here's the list if you want to see. I still have to go back and collect a few more people that weren't home. Today, I'm presenting to the Town Bicycle, Pedestrian, and Traffic Safety 9 on April 22nd. I'm planning to submit the petition signatures and send data to town. Supposedly, my first recommendation was speed bumps. I did research on speed bumps and here are mine. Speed bumps can be rubber, recycled plastic, slow down cars 2 to 5 miles per hour. Good for school zones, parking lots, and churches. Easily installable and removed easily. Next, more signage on Shawnee Pass to remind drivers the speed limit is 20 miles per hour. There is only one speed limit sign at the top of the street. Another idea could be a crossing guard program led by kids or adults. Do you have any questions for me about my project?
Thank you, Wyatt. That's a very good presentation. I think I really like the way that you put that together. You've collected lots of data. You've collected opinion from all the people around you. That's a really good way to start out this project. Do we have any questions from the committee,
Guess
please?
what? I have a question. As far as your solutions, now the first thing was the speed bumps, right? And then when you added the signage, is that a separate line item? Because when you add speed bumps, you also add signage with the speed bumps. So, I think that, would you be okay if it was just speed bumps and not additional signage? Considering that the speed bumps add signs anyway?
Yeah,
Okay, so maybe you could include that somewhere in your presentation, but I think that's a great, what you've done so far is super. What is the program that you were talking about, your second solution?
like a crossing guard program led by parents.
Okay, okay, is that similar to the one that's on Alpine Road with the flags on each side of the road? Okay,
So there are no crossing guards at Ormondale at the moment? Oh, gosh, okay,
well, that's no good.
right. Absolutely.
Well, this brings a lot of information to light. Thank you,
Yeah,
Wyatt.
this is very useful for us, and I know you're doing a good job. Sir, of
Yes,
course you may.
Has the committee considered any other tactics before the speed bump? You're discussing signage or other pieces. I'm just wondering what you are communicated or had stuff.
Yeah, so this is one of our main present focuses, actually is focusing on excessive speed anywhere in town. So it's good to know, it's good to have data from a particular place to say, look, we have a problem here. We have a 20-mile-an-hour limit and people are exceeding it by 10, 15, nearly 20 miles an hour. That's exactly the sort of thing that we need.
One way of helping people slow down is to have police presence and to have police citing people. And so you had police with radar guns and LiDAR, and they saw people speeding, but they never ever stopped them and never gave them a citation. Is that true?
Yeah, so then the other cars wouldn't slow down and like see that we were going like.
And are there existing speed limits outside Ormondale at 20 miles an hour?
I don't know.
You don't know if there are any signs? I have a feeling they are 25. And how many people did you get to sign your petition?
I think
23 people signed your petition and they wanted to have a speed limit and they wanted people to drive slowly, right? Very good. Well, that was very nice research and I hope we can take this a little bit further. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions?
so, back to your question, the other speed bumps. are a very sensitive issue with this committee, just historically speaking. Though, from Wyatt's presentation and from other information and research that we have, we oppose speed bumps on the primary roadways. Just because of fire trucks and emergency situations, you don't want them slowing down to 10 miles an hour when there's an emergency. But in your situation where it's a school zone, and we do know that speed bumps are effective, I think that that's something that we as a committee could move forward on separately or make it a line item to investigate
Investigate
putting
that, yeah.
speed bumps near the schools.
Yep.
Because we've got them.
I think, if you do that with installations that are considerate towards bike and other traffic, so that, speed humps can be a problem for bikes, but if you design things carefully,
They don't have to be in the
Get around
bike
those problems.
lane.
they don't.
No, you wouldn't put them in the bike lane. But I think that we could consider doing that.
Yeah, so I hope your presentation to the council goes well, and good luck with your project, Wyatt. Thank you very much for bringing this to us. It's a
Thank
really
you.
nice piece of work. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Perfect, thank you. Thank you.
And yeah, please, if you can remind me when that presentation to the council is, I'd like to join in as well, and if you need any support for it. Yeah. April 22nd, okay. That'd be great, thank you.
Thank you. Very well done. Thank you so much.
Very good.
Good luck, have a great day. Happy Friday.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I have another speaker card from Chantal. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Eskogrove. And the agenda item is road safety.
Is it turned on?
The little red light should be on.
Hello.
Good.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chantal Eshkipour, and I'm the parish administrator at Christ Church next door. I'm here today with a heavy heart. 2 weeks ago, on St. Patrick's Day, our beloved cat Rosie was senselessly killed in a hit and run by a speeding car. Rosie belonged to our neighbor, and she made our church her home, bringing joy and comfort to all who knew her. Her loss has left a hole in our hearts. Rosie crossed Portola Road and was hit. This is not just a personal tragedy. Children, grandparents, and preschoolers cross this road every day, putting themselves at risk from speeding cars. Drivers are reckless, sometimes going 60 miles per hour, making noise, and endangering everyone who uses this road. 10, 15 years ago, police presence here was strong. Today, enforcement is minimal to non-existent. When was the last time anyone saw a ticket issued for speeding on Portola Road? This is not just about Rosie. This is about the safety of our entire community. We need immediate action, stronger traffic enforcement, increased police presence, and safety measures for pedestrians, children, and everyone who crosses this road. We cannot wait until someone else, human or animal, is hurt. I'm speaking today for Rosie, for our children, for our families, and for everyone who crosses Portola Road. Let Rosie's life and tragic death be the catalyst for real change. Thank you for listening, and thank you for acting now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you're willing to hold on through the remainder of the meeting, our upcoming items will be a report from the sheriff, including what citations were given, which will give you a picture of what they're doing, and we can also make more requests to them at that point as well for attention. Yeah. Okay, if there are no more public comments, I'd like to move on to item 3, which is approval of the minutes. That would be for our February 6th meeting.
I propose we approve the minutes of the February 6th meeting.
Okay. Do I have a second? Pat?
I'll second that.
Okay, no amendments or corrections requested? Okay. Okay, no. Then I move that we vote to approve the minutes from the February 6th meeting.
Aye.
Aye.
I,
Okay, carried. The January 9th meeting minutes were amended and submitted to town council, so those should appear along with the other records. Let's move on to item 4. Nick, please, may we have your sheriff's report?
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. It was a great presentation by Wyatt. I was there on the day that he conducted his survey, and we got that set up with one of our motor units to come out and assist and kind of show him how to use the radar, the LiDAR, and the difference in the technology. And it was a great morning. And I think it was he did catch his principal going a little fast, so I think he has that to kind of hold over her head if need be. Moving forward, I think we did, if I recall, we did not have the February meeting. So the numbers reported out for February is citations. We had 4, 0 parking citations, and there's 0 traffic collisions. For the month of March, we had 27 moving citations, 0 parking citations, and we had a total of 3 collisions, 2 non-injury and 1 major injury collision, and one of those involved a bicycle. For the collisions, the non-injury was on Degas Road. We had the major injury, which involved the bicycle on Alpine and Los Trancos, and a non-injury on Westridge Drive. And that is the March report that we have, and 0 parking citations.
Okay, thank you. Just for the benefit of people in the room here, can you give us a very quick tally of speeding citations out of those numbers, please?
There was 0 speed citations issued out of the 27. The majority of them were stop sign violations at Alpine and Patrol Road. Some cell phones for distracted driving. And it looks like expired registration was another big one.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think we are all concerned that there is a lot of driving over the speed limit, and it is something we would like your team to focus on particularly, but definitely also the moving violations with distracted driving as well are very important. Was that a particular initiative for the month? It's interesting to see that cited so many times.
No, it may have came in from the patrol supervisor. They may have received a call regarding a complaint. We also have some newer deputies up in the Patrol Valley area. Maybe that day that they were trying to, figure out the new beat and where they're working. And we just had shift bid and changes. So you may see a new face in Patrol Valley. So as they're kind of figuring out the lay of the land up there and getting acclimated, they might be noticed some enforcement.
Look, very good. I like eager new guys on the job.
I think it's absolutely essential that we have speeding enforcement in Portola Valley, partly because when 280 gets blocked up, Google will send the cars and Waze and things up Arastradero Road and up Alpine and then along Portola Road. And so we get some very heavy traffic, heavier than we used to get. And, if I can catch people speeding on my iPhone with a camera and you have LiDAR and radar, you can jolly well spend some time catching people for speeding. We want people punished when they speed.
I have a question. Are you using the radar yet? Because it didn't seem like for a long time that radar was part of the program.
So there's certain criteria. We can't just go out and use radar and LiDAR. We used it for Wyatt's experiment to kind of help him out. But in order to be enforceable, there needs to be road surveys and traffic surveys done, which I don't necessarily know off the top of my hand when the last ones were done for the town of Portola Valley. So if those surveys have not been completed, then we cannot use radar or lidar on a lot of those areas. So then that kind of leaves up just the visual presence. And when you see a deputy sheriff parked on the side of the road, traffic tends to slow down. So there's different, and then we have the kind of nuances of Portola Valley, and we run into similar situations in the town of Woodside. Is some of the roads they're not straight, they're curved. We got to find a safe place for the deputy to be positioned to be there to enforce it. And then you also have to factor in after when an enforcement stop does take place where we can actually safely pull someone over. So there's a lot of things that go into effect as far as when a deputy makes a stop. We have to think about the safety when we're there and the safety after the stop. So the decision to conduct traffic enforcement on a specific roadway, all those factors go into play, because it overall the biggest thing is the safety after the stop and officer safety, and then the stop of the driver that we've conducted. So, like I said, there's lots of different things that go into traffic stops versus just picking up on the speed. I'm not sure about the road surveys and when they were last done. That would be the town engineer that would be able to provide those certificates. And the unique thing about Portola Valley is you do not have a motor officer associated assigned to the town of Portola Valley. So that's the majority of the traffic citations are coming from the motor officers, because the patrol deputies have other responsibilities as far as responding to calls for service and conducting passing checks and visual presence other than just traffic. So you're kind of pulling the single deputy that is assigned to Portola Valley in several different directions. So traffic enforcement, yes, is part of it, but it's also not the primary responsibility because they are responding for calls for service as well.
And can I ask, in your opinion, what do you think the best way would be for us to approach getting people to slow down?
Again, is the visual presence of the deputies, community awareness. I think the best thing is community pressure. Believe it or not, Portola Valley is a small town, so if you have the residents kind of putting pressure on other residents, there's it goes back to the grade school, high school thing of peer pressure. You can kind of that signage which you guys have, but again, Portola Valley in like similar to Woodside, it is unique as far as you guys don't necessarily have the sidewalks. You don't have all the infrastructure there that causes people to naturally slow down as the visual deterrence. So it's kind of unique. I think the signage is good. You guys are doing everything you can do. There's always going to be tendencies to speed, especially if people are trying to get around traffic, though.
Yeah. Does the sheriff's department have more speed feedback trailers that could be deployed? We have a single one that belongs to the town, but and they are effective.
Yeah, we have signboards. Whether they're equipped with radar, I know the town. I know, like for example, the city of San Carlos purchased signboards that have the radar feedback. The signboard that we have that we utilize for Portola Valley in Woodside, in that area that's kind of designated, I don't necessarily know if that has a radar feedback. I could look into that. If not, it'd be a signboard that we could put up to remind drivers to slow down as well. But as far as the actual feedback of the speed, I don't know if that signboard has that.
Okay, thank you. I mean, this is something we are going to continue to come back to address. I think a much perceived issue, but I think it's perceived for very real reasons, is that we see a lot of inappropriate driving, inappropriate use of speed. And I think there's an opportunity to make some revenue here as well, and issue some tickets and change some behavior.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
please let that be a major focus on your work in the Woodside and Portola Valley area.
I think we should also recommend to the town council that they get their speed survey done, because it hasn't been done for over 5 years.
That's an important question. I'll take that up with Robert, but also maybe bring that to the council's attention as well.
Yeah.
I think is it only valid for 5 years?
Yes, it's valid for 5 years, and we haven't had one for well over 5 years.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And
So-
the other thing is that the deputies, when I first came to Portola Valley, never had any problem pulling people over because we had the wide shoulders of 5-foot wide shoulders at the side of the road. And one suggestion might be, I've seen deputies doing work in their cars by the end of our football field that's near the town centre. And so rather than parking there to do their work, maybe they could park by the side of the road. There's a pull in for a bus outside the Alpine Inn. And very few buses come down Portola Road, so they could pull in there. And there are a lot of driveways that people would be only too happy to loan you.
Okay, yeah, I could definitely relay that onto the deputy. Again, it's where they park, and if they're just distracted as far as doing other work, that you got to think about the safety aspect of things. There's lots of studies that go into the fact of, police cars getting hit on the side of the road because a driver driving by, tends to look at them, and your body will naturally sometimes drive in that direction, right? So if the deputy, if the side of the road might not be the safest spot, especially if they have a wide field of parking to do their work. But I'll definitely relay that onto them as far as being that presence, and put that out there. And again, town of Portola Valley is unique. You guys have one deputy assigned to you guys, and that's what the town pays for in contrast with the sheriff's office.
That deputy can cite people for speeding. I don't believe that we have to have someone who's specially skilled in stopping cars. I think that all the deputies that come to Portola Valley are trained in how to catch someone for speeding. Isn't that true?
So there's different classes and certifications, right? So if every deputy can 100% conduct a traffic stop and stop someone for speeding, but in order to cite them for speeding, depending on the violation and what was seen, they need to go through specialized training. So to visually estimate someone's speed, to use radar, to use LiDAR, that's all additional specialized training, and additional classes that they go through, that they would need to go through. So there's you may see someone get pulled over for speeding, but the end citation might not be speeding. They might, for the proof of financial responsibility, for example.
Yes.
They might pull someone over for speeding, warn them about their speed, and cite them for the financial responsibility or the cell phone or something else. So like I said, the end result for the citations and the data that I have might not necessarily be the exact reason why they stop them. And the initial reason might be for speed. There might be speed enforcement out there that they're conducting, but the citation end result in the numbers that I pull might not reflect that.
Yeah.
So there's different things. Not like I said, we can cite for unsafe speed. We can cite for all these things, but if you're going to cite someone for going over 35 miles an hour and you're parked and the deputy hasn't necessarily received training to visually estimate that speed, or there's not road surveys to allow us to use radar and LiDAR, then you're not going to see the citations for the speed, which may be out there, right? So you might see someone getting stopped for it, but they can also, the end result might be a different citation other than speed.
Yep.
Thank you.
A thought for you here. One thing we've also been concerned by is many vehicles not having a front license plate. Is that something that you could pull somebody over with that and a suspicion about the character of their driving and combine those two and, just make that a stop?
Yeah, any violation of the California Vehicle Code, it gives the deputies probable cause to
Because,
to stop a vehicle.
we would like you to focus on both of those things. At the Meet the Sheriff event we had toward the end of February, the question was asked about front license plates by another resident, and the deputy who was also joining the meeting spoke up and said, "Well, if I had to stop all the front license plates, I'd have a lot of work to do," and I don't think that was a very appropriate answer. And you got it triggered a few murmurs around among the residents listening in, but we left it at that point. But it is something we'd like to come back to and focus on. And so if that element and a consideration of sort of unsafe speed or unsafe driving could be combined, we'd get two birds with one stone.
Sure, like how I was saying, the deputy can, or any law enforcement officer can stop someone for a violation of a California Vehicle Code, and requiring two license plates on a vehicle is a California Vehicle Code. So yes, a stop could be conducted for that.
Okay. So what do we need to do to ensure that becomes a focus and a priority for our good officers working in Portola Valley?
So the front license plate is not necessarily, it's an equipment violation. It's not a moving violation. So your focus on safety and traffic may not be there if all you're doing is stopping every car for no front license plate. I could just say right now, for example, it's a very common trend that every Tesla does not have a front license plate. It's just the way the vehicle's made, the bracketing, it's a bracket that needs to get put on that, Tesla owners, it kind of changes the front view of the car, and they're not putting those on. Even though when you buy a car, you sign a document saying that you recognize in the state of California, 2 license plates are required. So are we going to be combating traffic safety issues by enforcing an equipment violation of no front license plate? Probably not. I think you have one deputy assigned to Portola Valley. It's up to that deputy to determine kind of the best use of their time up there as far as enforcement, responding to calls, visiting the schools, and traffic enforcement. Especially the day shift. It's a balancing act of as far as what the deputy picks and focuses on. If you have a deputy just focusing strictly on stopping cars for no front license plate, are we truly enforcing in the vehicle code to make it safer? In my opinion, I don't believe so. I don't think that a front license plate or an equipment violation truly would enforce and help out with safety of driving. I'd rather have that deputy stop the cars that are running the stop signs versus stopping cars and being tied up stopping cars with no front license plates. Now, I'm not saying that that's not a violation of the law. It is, but we got to kind of pick and choose what we stop for.
Well, I will say I was very pleased to see that there was a deputy this week stopping someone without a rear license plate.
Yes, and it's the same violation. Rear license plate, front license plate. You're required to have 2 license plates, right? So they're out there stopping cars. No license plates could also be, sometimes when someone will steal a car, they'll remove the license plate, and they'll come into an area and commit a crime. So that's, it's all proactive policing. It's what the deputies are out there to do. And like I said, it's, I'm not saying the car that they stopped with no rear license plate was a stolen vehicle or it was out there to do a crime, but it's a reason for an investigation. And I think it's a good use of the deputy's time to be doing those type of traffic stops, and taking that proactive enforcement.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Nick. I know we've given you a hard time, and I know it's not your job to determine a lot of these things. But I think once we have our new police captain installed, we should be taking that up more directly with them. Thank you very much. We'll let you get on with your day.
Thank you.
Captain Brandon Hensel was appointed. It was effective March 29th. He has
Oh.
been in contact with Darcy and getting up to speed on all the issues in Portola Valley and making the contacts. And he's out of the office this week on a pre-planned trip that was prior to his appointment. So, but he'll be back in the office next week.
Oh, that's good news. Thank you for letting us know. I'll talk to Darcy and make sure we can establish all the connections. Thank you,
Sounds
Nick.
great. Yep.
I was just wondering, you know, we are adversity to speed bumps, but what about
Okay, so you
rumble
get two
strips?
choices.
Yeah, that can be useful.
I mean, because it would slow people down and it wouldn't disrupt emergency vehicles.
Yeah.
Less so.
Because it doesn't, yeah, you can still speed over them, but it's gonna get your attention that you have to slow, you know what I mean? But that's something we can ask Robert when,
I do feel though that we get a lot of reasons why things can't be done rather than why things can be done.
they've only got one officer. And, you know, if
I
we have
agree.
to look at our budget,
But
what's going on, you
there's
know,
a,
what are we
there is a
doing?
big discrepancy. So I think February they said there were 4 tickets, and in March there were 22.
27.
It's 27. I beg your
Yeah,
pardon.
no,
So,
they did increase. So, yeah. But we used to get 70 tickets a month.
Hey, Ed.
hi, Kevin.
Hey, I just want to let you know, I recommended that we reduce the speeds down to 15 miles per hour, which we can do around the schools. It's perfectly okay. As new California Vehicle Code allows us as a group to go ahead and reduce it down to 15.
And what's the extent for in range from the school? Because I know it's contingent with whatever that zone size is. Do you know that
Ye-
number?
Yeah, I really don't. It depends on the school and where it's located, whether it's in a business or residential area. But I'm sure it's probably within a quarter mile.
Yeah, so you could include Shawnee Pass completely, probably
Right.
as well as Iroquois Trail there.
Right.
Does it matter what age the children are? Because we've got 2 preschools on Portola Road, and they have sort of sprung up, and the speed limit has never been adjusted near those schools.
Well, they're
That's
not-
right. I realize that's still 35 miles per
They're
hour.
not public.
Do preschools count though?
I don't know. Well, I don't know if because they're private. I don't know if private.
Yeah,
schools-
there's a particular part of the law, and I have to look at it specifically or get an attorney's. I think maybe a town attorney could probably answer that question. But between private and public, there is a big discrepancy.
But I mean, given the number of
Yeah,
drive,
because we've got the Priory as well.
the number of driveways and
Right.
access points and things on that stretch of road, I think you have a good case for reconsidering the speed limit through that area.
Yeah.
So anyway, that is right. Let's continue. So item 5 on our agenda would be the public works update, but Robert is not here. So we have nothing to say on that. So let's move quickly on to item 6. That's our ongoing committee business. I kept on here the review of our committee charter, just to look at 3 elements. One is our basic function, whether we need to review the actual functions listed in the charter. 2 is our committee name. And 3, somebody suggested revisiting our meeting frequency. Do we need to have a meeting every single month? Should it be every other month? Partly because of sometimes the difficulty we have in pulling everybody together. Now, that wouldn't necessarily change if we change the frequency. How much is enough? How much development month by month do we need to review? And those considerations. I don't know how deep we want to go into that today, but I'm going to keep this as a standing item.
I don't, I think the meeting should stay monthly. If you were to go bi-monthly, we have a hard enough time getting stuff done as it is to, no, I think we'll fall apart.
Thank you. Angela, do you have an opinion?
Well, if we could have full attendance or quorum, then I would say every 2 months. But given that we have to miss some because we've no quorum, the effective might be, well, every other month. You know,
Yes.
so maybe we just keep it every month, and if we can't get a quorum, we're just going to have to miss a meeting.
Yeah.
And the other thing we do need that is not on here is more people. I mean,
Well, maybe that should be one of
and
our
that should be one
goals to
of our
recruit.
major goals actually at the moment. I mean, between us, I think we get quite a lot done, but it's often burdensome to share all that just among four of us.
Yes.
And it limits our opportunity to set off subcommittees, different studies and things done, just because we haven't got the resources of people time. Kevin, do you have any thoughts on that? On the committee charter and the meeting frequency and things like that? Can you hear us, Kevin? Thank you. I guess not. Seems like he's having some problems.
Okay, let's move
Well,
on.
on the name of the committee, we're probably the only town that calls ourselves the Bicycle, Pedestrian and Traffic Safety Committee meeting. And I like that, actually. Most people are BPAC, which is Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee. We are also advisory about the traffic, which I think is very important for Portola Valley. So I would suggest we keep our name the same, even though it is not the same as most other towns.
Yeah, leave the name the way it is, absolutely. We don't have to conform as far as,
Oh, no, not at all. Chief concern with me was that people go, because bicycle is the first word, they just latch on that and they call us the bicycle committee. And
bicycles are underrepresented. Leave it, just,
well, no, it's
But
true.
bicycles are
it's in alphabetical order, just leave it.
you have to have a bicycle.
Yeah,
By
that's our
the
major.
town has to have one.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they all have a BPAC committee and they have a separate traffic committee, but ours is combined.
Oh, it is. That's something I wasn't aware of. I'll have to ask Darcy about that.
Well, it's a traffic safety committee, but they all call them BPAC.
Right. I mean, I was, my thought was to go with something like a simple, like traffic and pedestrian safety.
We'll never
See,
get,
then you could call it TAPS, TAPS. I like that.
you never get a grant for bicycle improvement.
Seriously?
Yeah,
It's all in a name? That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I
There
think
you go.
so.
Well, one thing I was going to suggest is that we form a subcommittee for looking at some of these committee function and other charter review elements. Is that something anyone would be willing to entertain and has the time to do? I'd be willing to take one leg of it if somebody else would join me.
Come back again, Ed.
Oh, hi, Kevin. Can you hear us again?
Yeah, I can. I'm still at Sequoia. My suggestion, I believe, like Angela and Pat, is or Pat more so, because I think Angela says semi. I would like to have it monthly, even though we don't have a quorum all the time. Hopefully we do and can run the meeting. But I think if we had it every other month, then we might have like a bigger problem.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty much agreed. I don't.
yeah.
Do we have a process in place as far as getting new recruitments? Because I know that
No,
Gary was interested and I don't know why, nothing has happened there. The fellow that was interested in becoming a member, the lawyer that we met last summer,
Mm.
what happened with him? You know, we've had two
Yeah,
people.
but our
that
standard response is
interested.
please go to the town website, fill in the form and do the things. You know, and that, at that point, we lose them off the hook.
We gotta figure out.
People just
the
don't want to do that.
process. We need a,
Well, they can just email you surely, and you can present it to the town council. They don't have to fill in a form. I mean, they fill in a form because that's sort of a nice way to do, but we could fill in the form for them, surely.
We could, sort of sponsor
right,
them.
that shouldn't be a deal breaker. We've got people waiting to be on the committee. I talk to Gary all the time. He's
I
like,
know.
what's going on?
Yeah.
Well, he hasn't
I've-
made the application. So do we have, could you,
Has he-
if you talk to him, ask him, can we make the application for him? And I will do it.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
As long as I've got his consent, I'd be happy to do it.
Okay, I will do that. Yeah,
And the same goes
okay.
for anyone else.
Yeah, I think.
I think we need to advertise on PV Forum
Yes,
Yeah,
that's a good
yeah.
idea.
and tell them just to email you, and then you can send them the link to the
Okay.
form.
But then we send them the link and they don't do anything. I've seen this several times, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
We get, you know, we get them on the hook. We get a lot of interest. You know, people sign up at the town picnic and they say, "Oh yes, I'm definitely interested." And
Well, all
then,
we need to do
lose
is
them again.
get from them the information that's on the form and present that, give that to the town
Hmm.
or something.
And they can type it in, or we can type it in, give them a
It
hard
doesn't have to
copy.
be on the form. It can be just surely in an email, all that same information.
Yeah, that's.
And just give it to the town clerk and then it's improved.
Yeah, because
Well, we could try that.
that shouldn't be what's holding up this.
No, it shouldn't. But you know, had it drummed into me at one point early on when Sharon Hanlon ran things. Oh no, it has to go through the system.
Right,
So I tended to stick to that.
Well, I think it has to get to the town clerk, that information, but whether it's on a form or on a napkin, I don't think.
No, it
matters.
shouldn't matter. Okay.
really, I agree.
Well,
And I think like
Would-
with working on these things, if you want to do it, Ed, great, but right now, I really think we need to be focusing on getting more people. And make it a bigger priority between our speed situation, our speed bumps. I mean, I think those are really hot topics. And we should really be, if we want a committee, let's do a speed bump committee. You know, let's figure out where they should go, what the process is to get those in place and actually, you know, get that going. Because I think that's a hot topic, personally.
no, that I think you're right. Absolutely right. That's very good comments. Thank you.
This is fine.
Yeah. I really wanted to change the name because I can't stand it, but it's personal.
Oh.
It's not that I can't stand. No, that's wrong. I don't dislike the name. I actually do like the name, but I think it causes confusion. That may be just me. But I do like, I think you're right. We should focus on attracting more people. I think that's the most important thing we could do because then we can take more, we can have more irons in the fire. To do the things we want to do, which is make sure things remain or become safer.
I like the priority of the name. I like it that we're prioritizing the bicycle and the pedestrian and then the traffic. And that these are the things that are more important to us. We care more about these things than we do traffic. And as soon as traffic becomes the number one thing, then it loses its priority as far as the way I look at it. And I really think that these folks that are on self-motorized or walking, they need to be solidly represented. And I don't want to just be a traffic committee. You lose your priority.
Okay, we could have pedestrian, road and traffic safety, but that's Pratt's. So it doesn't work very well.
I think it's good as it is. The only thing I would do is add horse.
Oh, equestrian.
Bicycle, pedestrian, horse and traffic safety
But
committee.
see, this
Very
is-
up to suggest.
This is exactly the road I didn't want to go down because you end up then with the longest committee name in history. Although maybe
Well-
that's a goal.
We could call pedestrian pedestic quest. and turn it into one word representing pedestrians and equestrians.
No, I think we've got a brand with what we have now, and we should just stay with what we've got. I don't think there's any need to change this.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, let's work
Well-
on speed bumps.
Moving on then to, I think, what's a more important issue, recruitment and improving our numbers. Angela, would you be willing to?
I'll post something on
post
PV
something on the
Forum
PV forum and then
and
direct
possi-
them to my Gmail address, please, not my regular one.
Okay,
Thanks.
yeah.
Yeah, and let's see if we can get some more people, because then we'll be able to actually get work done.
One of the things we have to do with getting people is onboarding them and giving them a task.
Mhm.
So we need a safe routes to school person.
Yeah.
We need someone to work with maybe on speed control or something like that. And we can think of projects.
Ed,
Kevin, yeah.
I think one of the biggest problems is the time element at 8:15 in the morning, and that keeps a lot of people away from the joining any kind of committee. I'd rather see an evening, and they have a little bit more time.
I agree.
Yep. I would probably have to step down at that point because I'm not doing Friday evenings. So I don't think anybody else is, are they?
Yeah,
You want to do
fine.
Friday?
No,
evening?
No, I don't
No.
want to do
Not-
Friday
not-
evening.
Not
No.
unless we serve, not unless we serve beer. But then we would get the numbers up. So
Yeah, meet
Right.
at the Alpine Inn.
Yeah,
the one thing I would say on elements for a recruitment message on the forum, don't forget that some of the committees have high school age kids on there, because that's very good for their community service hours. So that, and if we want somebody to link in with schools and school safety, that's another aspect, an element that we haven't really considered. But I know like Nature and Science it was, I think it's either Nature and Science or Conservation Committee. They have two high school members and they run that committee very well. They presented and helped to host the Nature Wildlife Day in January, and that was a big success. And it's good confidence building and experience.
it's a
for-
great idea.
And getting them drawn into being involved in the community. So,
Yes.
all right. Well, let's leave that there. But there's some good ideas. Angela.
I'll post something on
something
PV Forum.
on the forum.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Because then, we're just,
And I'll ask Darcy in one of the newsletter updates to see if we can highlight the committee membership as a thing as well. Okay, what else do we have on our ongoing business? I'm looking to close this up by 9:15.
yeah.
I think we all have to be somewhere. I have to work. So. Safe routes to school. I don't think our subcommittee has. Do we actually still have a safe routes to school subcommittee, or shall I scrub that for the time being?
Scrub.
Okay,
it.
I'm sorry for that, but there we go. And alternative transport. I know, Pat, that's you and Angela.
We did a sign thing.
Yeah,
Are we talking about that?
our sign.
A wild animal.
Right. and-
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
Well, I haven't done anything on it since the last time that we got together. But now that I've got some leads as far as, the goals, I'll be able to move forward. The thing that I'm concerned about is, to start something now. It might be too close to, the end of the school year. So, if we can get a summer thing, or maybe the library would be the place to get involved as opposed to the schools, because they run year round.
Yes.
So maybe we change that. I think the library would be better anyway. 'Cause
Well, I
could-
thought we were going to get professional artists to design
Well, I think
signs.
we're gonna try to, the schools were also on there.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking of young artists. I was thinking of people who are,
Real.
established people
Yeah,
who
yeah,
have, people belong to
absolutely.
the
Well,
art club or something.
It could easily be open to everyone, and
Oh,
let's
for
have it.
sure,
But the
and I
library is a
think
great
that-
driver for things like that.
It doesn't have to be one sign. If we do it's footprints, I think kid input would be fabulous.
Well, I wanted to have a white cat where the cat was killed, but
Oh, I
they've made
know.
a grave by the side of the road. There is a grave there. The cat was buried, I think, in the back garden, but they put a sign at the side of the road.
Memorial, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need to, Angela and I need to get together and work on this.
Okay, very good, thank you. I think, with that, I know we have events coming, but I'm not sure there are firm dates yet.
29th of August is Palooza. It's been moved from
It
June
has
to
been-
August.
Oh, it has been moved. So, okay, August 29th for Palooza. And I think the town picnic is looking like the late 20 or 20s in September. I think I heard the 23rd mentioned, but I'm not sure that date
23rd of
lines up.
September.
I'm not sure that lines up properly with the calendar. But where are we? 20, what would be September? So no, it can't be the 23rd. So it would have to be, well, either the 19th or the 26th.
Uh,
But I don't have those dates firm and they're not on the town calendar. So
Okay,
I
I,
try and find out more from Darcy. All right. If we're concluded, there's no other business, I'll move to adjourn.
I second that.
Okay, it's carried. Next regularly scheduled meeting falls on 1st of May at 8:15. So hope to see you then.